Yo, what's good? This is your boy Lawrence, and I'm here with Chris and Luke, co-host of SupFM.
Yeah, buddy.
Every week we talk about streetwear, different things that are driving the culture, different things that are driving the hype.
We're going to go over all the new sneaker releases, what's behind the design.
Yep.
We unpack stories from those sneakers.
We'll talk to some of the best designers, and you'll probably get a rant from me about the old days of the sneaker culture.
Yep.
Listen, if there's stuff to talk about, we're going to talk about it.
We are SupFM. That is right. Here we are, SupFM. You know the deal. This is Chris, one of your co-hosts. Across from me, virtually, we have my guy, Luke Trovisi. What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's up, everybody?
He's got that red mic. And on the other side of him, we have my other main man, my other partner in crime. We have LZD325, Lawrence DeLoach. What is up, sir?
Nothing much, man. Just happy to be here.
That is great to hear. And like I just said, LZD325, that's where you can follow him on all social media. What about you, Luke? Where can they find you?
You can find me at Trevisus. But what about you, Chris?
Not That Cheney, Cheney, across all platforms. NotThatCheney.com. You already know what it is. Guys, what is going on? Tell me, how are you?
We good, man. It's a beautiful but sad day. We're gonna Kobe Bean Bryant. One of the top 10 greatest NBA players of all time, in my eyes, is going to be inducted to the NBA Hall of Fame.
Well deserved, of course. There's no question about that.
It's wonderful. And I think we're, obviously you want to see the man give his own speech, but I think he will be celebrated. And the class that he's going in with his peers and guys that he's battled with and defeated and lost to, and Tim Duncan and Kevin Garnett. So it's a wonderful day for basketball. Mm-hmm. These guys are supposed to be inducted, obviously, in 2020, but with COVID, pushed it out a little bit. But I'm excited, man. Those three guys are amazing, and Kobe, man, jeez, man. Mm-hmm. I get so emotional when I think about Kobe, and I know if I watch it, I'll fucking cry, and I will shed a tear. But this is a sneaker podcast, and they've had wonderful memories and some of the greatest sneakers that we go crazy over, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, Luke, how do you feel about the whole situation?
I mean, I'm happy to see Kobe finally get the recognition and he's always had his recognition, but just getting the Hall of Fame stamp. We knew it was coming. It was just it's just finally happy to see it happen. It is very bittersweet because like Lawrence said, I would have loved to hear Kobe fucking roast everybody.
Yes.
While he was receiving his trophy. I'm the best. Michael couldn't beat me. I don't know. Wild shit. Yeah.
They're actually, when you say, Michael, and we always look at the Michael Jordan Hall of Fame speech, and it's one of the funniest because it was like, dude, you are the greatest basketball player to ever play the game.
Yes.
Yet his Hall of Fame speech still showed that it can be a dick.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I think to see Michael induct Kobe today and the relationship and the bond that those two guys have had over, 20 plus years, when we watch we saw in The Last Dance, we watched, Michael talk about Kobe. And then we saw as Michael retired, how Kobe was the best shooting guard in the league. And I think they have a little big brother, little brother. And we saw Michael talk about Kobe being a little annoying little brother, at the memorial that Kobe had. So to watch the two undisputed greatest shooting guards to ever play in the NBA and the bond that they had and the way their careers kind of, overlap. But, it's going to be, like I said, it's going to be bring your tissues.
Those last text messages got leaked out too of the interaction they had about Coach and Gigi, I guess, right?
Well, Michael talked about it. He kind of leaked it out, but it's kind of like what they say is when someone passes away, you guys are close. You tend to hold on to those text messages, those voicemails.
Absolutely.
Because you don't want it to be, you delete stuff like that. It becomes final. In a sense, it is final, but it's like, oh man, now I can look back and laugh at those text messages. I do it. when I, people I know that have passed away, sometimes I look at a message that, we sent years
Of
ago.
course.
And it's,
Yeah.
So I think we're just, like I said, today's going to be a wonderful day, and we're recording this on a Saturday. We're recording this on the day of the Hall of Fame.
May 15th. Yep.
We also have, we're going to talk a little bit more about Kobe and the sneakers in a second, but we also have Tim Duncan and Kevin Garnett. And I kind of want to talk a little bit about their sneakers because, once again, I mean, we've learned that big men have a tough time selling sneakers.
It's true.
We've seen Kobe, we've seen, Michael, LeBron, KD, we've seen the guards, the wingmen, they've been able to sell, but we have a history of bigs like Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett, Patrick Ewing. You talked about it earlier, Chris. Kevin Garnett's been through many sneaker contracts. Nike.
Off mic, we did have a quick conversation about Kevin Garnett specifically. Man, he really just hopped around, bro. Like, he was not satisfied anywhere he went. And I don't know if it's something to speak to, like, it's like designing for a bigger guy, because then when you take it off his foot and try to put it on a smaller foot, I don't know if it looks weird. I have no experience in that sort of design process, but man, he went from Nike to a lifetime contract with Adidas, if I remember correctly, and then he said, yo, I'm Kevin Garnett, I'm gonna do what I want. And then he left a lifetime contract and went to China. He went to Anta. So yeah, he's had a lot of experiences.
Do you think that the whole argument he had with Adidas was like when they were doing the lifetime contract, he's like, you can't get out of this, it's a lifetime contract, and he just says anything is possible. Anything is possible. Anything is possible.
You know what's funny about that? Because I was in the building, not technically the Adidas building, it was Reebok headquarters, but owned by Adidas. So there was Adidas employees there. I was working there, and man, they threw that shit out everywhere. I remember this one dude, he came through and he was like, hey, can you write anything is possible down? And they were using employees' handwriting, and then they picked like the best one. They used it in ads and shit. That shit they ran with that crazy.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, he said anything is negotiable, which is me leaving. I think that's what he said.
I think guys like Tim Duncan's had some wonderful sneakers as well.
Yeah, it's true.
Foam posits. But I think what you said, Chris, is very true. It's not everyone is gonna be 7 feet 250, 6'10", 230 like Kevin Garnett and Tim Duncan. Or so when these sneakers are being designed, they're a lot heavier for big guys. And as a guy who's played basketball, I mean, I like the lighter sneakers. I've always been a fan of playing basketball in Kobe 5s, Kobe 8s, because the low tops, they're lightweight. I've found myself hating LeBron sneakers because, yes, they're too heavy. They're engineered for a guy who is a freight train. And when you take that off of a freight train and you put it on a guy who is 6'1", 225, it's like, this doesn't feel good.
Right. Yeah. Like, arguably you put the freight train load on the caboose and it ain't going to run properly. It
doesn't run properly. So I think that's where a lot of times we would see that these big men would have a tough time. It's like, there's not many Shaq sneakers. I think that's a little different because it was Reebok, and, I think that's a little different. But when you look at Nikes.
Oh, yeah.
And then the Payless, let's not forget the Payless Shaq.
The Dada joints.
We're trying to forget still.
But I think that's what happened. So I think when you see guys like Kobe and we look at the low models that he had, bro, 5 through 8. Oh my God, we're looking at some Shaq Jordan 3s.
Yes. Those are built like cement 3s.
Yeah.
So I think, we do have some other stuff we kind of want to talk about, especially in regards to Kobe. We had a release today, the Undefeated Hall of Fame Kobe 5s, and sneakers has been going with the draw.
Yeah.
And they, advertise draw, everything's a draw. And then today we had releases that turned into a Leo, let everyone order. And it was a 3-minute raffle, and there were problems as usual. And I wanted to know, did you guys attempt to purchase the Kobe's?
I've held strong. I have not re-downloaded. My life, honestly, has improved vastly by not re-downloading, not having that red icon on my phone, not having to be curious, not having to check. I'm good, man. I'm chilling.
Are we doing a sneakers wellness check?
Yes, we are. We are doing a sneaker wellness check, and I am fucking feeling great.
You okay? Nah, man. I'm pretty fucking far from okay.
You're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay.
You sure you're okay? Okay.
Yo, check on your friends that have the sneakers app.
Like our new drop suggests, I will check on you guys because I'm doing great. but how are you?
I mean, I'm doing I'm not doing great today. All right, let's just say I'm not doing great. I went for the Kobe's as one would. Bunch of errors came up. I was like, all right, I got time. I'll go like take my time. Then I'll go to the shadows next. Then I get to the shadows and it's already, it's already no good. They don't want me having them. And yeah, they switched us up. They switched it up on us and I'm not happy about it. What about you, Lawrence?
I say I used to be upset, but now I go into it like, if you depended on sneakers for a win, you're pretty fucked, and then it didn't faze me. I mean, did I want the Kobe Undefeateds? Yes, I did. But at the same time, I know you had a better shot winning through the Undefeated raffle itself, as opposed to this bullshit sneakers app.
I know Meanie, our producer, got a pair today, which is pretty crazy.
You got a pair of
Shadow ones.
Shadow ones, yes.
Correct.
And it seems like by his suggestion, there might be a conspiracy involved in why he won, because as we know, Meanie's wasn't necessarily 10 o'clock hitting the buy button kind of guy.
No, not at all.
He wasn't chasing sneakers like we were constantly doing, but he got a W. Now, why would that be? Mm-hmm. He told us that at 10 o'clock, he went on sneakers, entered the raffle before he went on a run, which he uses the Nike Plus app. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, like the Nike Free Run app.
Nike Free Run, right?
To track.
Mm-hmm. So he hits buy, doesn't even think nothing of it, according to him. Run Club, I guess, whatever. Nothing core to him. He just runs his whatever couple miles. Then he looks back on his phone to check his stats, and all of a sudden he goes, yeah, whatever. This is your amount of time. Also, you have some shadows.
I don't know, man.
I mean, I can see. I mean, I've seen, they always say the more you interact with the Nike apps, the better chances you have of winning, quote unquote, sometimes.
Yep.
So,
I mean, we have evidence of Nike admitting that, like, for the Fly-E's, if you paid more interest to the Fly-E's on the sneakers app, they gave you a better chance or something like that. Mm-hmm. I mean, how valid do we think that this Run Club association is to winning on sneakers?
I think what we really got to do is we have to run a sample test, right? We have to run an experiment. And the only way to do that is to get our listeners who are in the Discord to run on a day of a big release, so that we have a big enough sample size.
That's true. I mean, I think we might also need to participate in some capacity.
Okay. But as a stoner, I don't really want to run, so I'll get somebody in my place. Everybody should. I think if you want to participate in our next experiment, which is, I think Meanie said he ran for 3 miles.
All right, hold
on.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the 3 mile, the Meanie run. It's the Meanie run. Well, on the next release of a Jordan 1, we all do the Meanie run. It's a 3 mile run. You get the Nike Run Club app and you see if we can fucking win again. I
mean, Meanie told us that he's going to try this on the next whatever release he wants. I don't necessarily know.
Okay, so representing the SupFM club is going to be Matt Meanie, our producer.
Yes, on the Meanie run.
On the Meanie run. Meanie run.
The Meanie run.
There we go. Congratulations, Matt. You are now running for SupFM.
You're a sponsored runner.
If you should join the Discord, link will be in the description of this podcast, wherever you find it. Join us on our little adventure with this fun little conspiracy.
No, but seriously, before we move on though, like how real do we think this is? Like, because I'm down with like the idea of Nike's giving favor with inside the sneakers app to a certain shoe. If you're interacting with it. I don't know if it goes across all Nike apps though. I don't know if I'm buying that.
No, it definitely doesn't. There's no way. I think it's a very loose association, but our Discord listeners should try it anyway.
Yes.
I do this thing where I'll the tap the like button repeatedly, and then you click the notify me button a couple times too, just to like get the app going a little bit. Like
desperate, bro.
Interactions.
Desperate.
I don't know. Look at my record.
I mean, like, I'm just equating that to like a girl on Instagram.
Listen, I'm 33% from the 3-point line, buddy. That's a 33 number.
33% is not bad at all, my guy.
Oh, that's a good stat, bro. I know it sounds low, but it's actually high.
That's pretty high. 33%. You wish you could shoot from 3 like that.
I mean, that's facts.
What else we got going on, guys? We got a leak, a Travis Scott 1 leak by Future Hendrix. Dun, 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 dun.
Air Max, new model, still reverse swoosh, on brand. How do we feel?
It's Air Max 1. It's not a new model.
I meant new model for Travis.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, cool. Yeah. Nah, Air Max 1 Trav, it's not bad. You know, I mean, we gotta see better shots, but there was a good clear shot of it. I don't mind. It's still gonna be hard. It's better than 270s. Let's just put it that way.
Absolutely.
Ooh, okay, hot take, everybody.
Hot take. No, that is a regular normal take.
It's a regular take. They're better than 270s.
So looking at it, I mean, to me, I can see some interesting new construction. That is not the normal, at least the heel tab of an Air Max. I don't know what, like, they got this like jacquard like webbing. I don't know even what to call it. We'll just call it like a wristband looking thing going on through the whole thing. That's interesting. I can't really tell what's happening on the tongue logo label and what's up with the laces. It's hard to kind of see based off this one photo, but I mean, I'm into it as far as like, you know, an execution on a new Trav model.
Yeah, I am too. And I think, you know, what Future said was next year. So I'm expecting these to fully be the Air Max Day special for next year.
Oh, Meanie's pointing out that it's an Air Max 95 tongue. That's interesting. I wouldn't have picked that up. Okay, cool. I mean, so I guess it's some kind of hybrid, or he's saying 97. I'm also not off rip freestyling here. Not sure.
We need to bring in an Air Max specialist for this. Yeah, man. I don't know. What is that like kind of that toe box material? Because it kind of looks like canvas.
It could be a number of things, man. It's hard to say off a photo like that, but it could be like a nylon ripstop.
Or like a hemp.
Yeah, I mean, if you look like, usually that like square-ish looking pattern lends itself to nylon. But then again, like you might be right, it might be canvas. It might be, it's also hard. I wish there was like a scuff on it, because usually you could tell what it is based off a scuff. But, you know, my man's just too fresh.
So it's like, yeah, it's supposed to be like a hiking shoe, right? Kind of similar theme to those 270s.
I guess. I don't know. I mean, we'll just have to like, you know, speculate until we see more. But like, it really could be anything based off this photo, you know?
I see.
But yeah, I mean, cool. I mean, this will fly. We all know that.
I think this will probably be one of the least successful of his run, I think.
No, this is going to be...
You think
I'm with Al.
No, you think that? Yeah, you think this is going to be?
It's not a Jordan 1 or a Jordan 4, but in terms of people love Air Max 1s.
Okay, that's true.
And their Air Max 1s, if you are greater than Air Max 270s, and I think that's what we will see. So
okay, that's fair. That's fair. I see it.
Don't forget, classic model among the Nike silhouettes. I mean, there's Air Max heads in the same way there's one heads, in the same way that there's Dunk heads. There's Air Max heads, and specifically for that model. So this would definitely go. But I understand where your doubt is coming from, because again, I mean, this is what the 15th fucking shoe this kid has gotten.
Yeah, this has been like we've seen kind of a trend with Air Maxes too lately, where they've been like, they haven't really been doing anything. You know, the Bacons were like, you know, they stocked a lot of them. So I don't know if like what the stock numbers are going to be on this. We'll see. It is Air Max.
It's a Travis Scott. It's going to be limited.
We all know. You're right.
We know. Looks like, well, let's get 100,000 pairs of the Travis Scott Air Max 1s.
Yeah, Vice President.
Let's fucking flood the streets, and you know it could be 100,000 fucking pairs, and it'll still be 101,000 people that want the fucking shoe. So
yeah, nothing with that kid's name on it is selling less for 500. Generally speaking,
I keep looking at those 33s that he did as like the benchmark, as like the lowest, you know. Because it was like if he can make a Air Max 33 or Air Jordan 33 like $500, I guess they're really
on stock. You were looking?
Yeah, I think so. Why? Yeah. What are they at now?
Oh, I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
Oh, maybe I should talk about my little thing I had on stock.
Oh yeah, that's right. If you want to, can you?
Yeah, no, I'll talk about it. I mean, I won't give any information that I don't think I should. So basically, I mean, this is just like kind of a quick story, but I got a Yeezy early, blessed, if you will, and it wasn't fire model. It was the Sumac or whatever this. I don't know what the fuck this one was, but regardless of where I got it from, I got it early, and I was like, oh, let me see what I could do with this on stock. So it comes out the 17th. So it comes out Monday, right? So I got this like last like in the middle of the week or whatever. So I'm like, let's just see. Let's just have some fun. Let's see what I could do with an unreleased Yeezy, right? So I list it for like I see it's listed for 800 that sold one, which, you know, those numbers are never real, right? You can't go off that number, but you can base off your listing based off that one number because it is still unreleased. So I'm like, let me do like 650. Let me see what's good. Someone else got a pair somehow, a run. It seems like a reseller, someone got backdoored because then that person started listing all their shit and they their listing off my 650 and they put theirs for 500.
Okay.
But they did that across the board, which is interesting to think about because I helped set the standard for what this guy was reselling for.
Yes, they put you in charge of the resale price.
No, which is crazy though, because I'm just doing it based on that 800 sale. So this 800 sale is setting the whole resale market for this one shoe. Granted, It's not a hype shoe. It's not the best easy colorway. It's a whatever fucking thing, but whatever. Like this whole chain of events is affecting how people are going to buy, which is just wild to me. I mean, you know, it's not that crazy to think about generally, but when you think about it actually happening, you're like, damn, that's crazy. So he managed to sell 1.9. I listed my 9, like I told you, at 650, and then he put his for 500. So I'm like, oh, let me match his ask. Then he put his listing to 499. He managed to sell that 9 at 499.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And in my head, I'm like, oh, we're playing prices right now. I got to go to 498. I'm not joking. For an hour and a half, bro, we traded lowest asks, and we got down to like 350.
Who won?
I took my shit off. I was like, fuck it, I'm not doing this. I'd rather just have it.
So
yeah, I
lost.
Well, actually, no. I did lose ultimately. He won the war, but I won the battle of lowest ask because he stopped.
Okay.
He stopped bringing it down. We got to like 350, that area. Maybe it was like 363 or something weird like that. I wonder if you could actually check on stock to see if like there was like a chart of lowest ask. I never really looked at it.
No,
but
they have to be purchased.
Yeah, so he won the war in the sense I was like, I'm not selling this for 3 whatever. What are you talking about? No, I'm not.
You should have on principle at that point.
No, I was like, fuck it, whatever. I'll just fucking keep these. I'll keep them in the back, and this will be some shit I break out like 10 years later on some like, who? What the fuck is that shit?
All right.
Well, you don't break them out 10 years later because there'll be 4 retros. The way,
that's true.
The way Adidas moves. So,
well,
figure it out.
You know, we had this year conversation about Jordans. You know, now I'm just in the moment realizing that Yeezy's kind of setting himself up to do that too, because now you have if I'm asking you about your Turtle Doves, right? What year did those come out?
Turtle Doves were 2015.
So if they were,
what are you talking? Not Turtle Doves. You're talking about the zebras. You're talking about the one. Which one are you talking about? Because there's only one turtle. I guess only one turtle. Right? Yeah, there's only one Turtle Dove. So
excuse me, my fault.
There's a zebra. There's a 2017 zebra. There's 2 2017 zebras, I believe. Then there's a 20. I don't know if it's 2018 or 2019 zebra, but there's multiple zebras out there.
Yeah. So the years are much tighter, obviously, but there could be a conversation later. If he's retroing them 4 times, you might get respect for that initial drop one. You know,
not. It's so weird because they're all pretty much the same. It seems like Adidas gets better as the retro. Like the retro seems better than the original, like the Pirate Black, the first Yeezy, the Pirate Black one, they retro. Remember, they came out in 2015 in the summer, and then they re-released them in the winter of 2016. And some people like the newer model because it was more cushion, it was more comfort. So I think with Jordans it's a little different because some people are like, I like the OG ones, I like the higher cut, I like this version of the leather. But with Kanye shit, it's like Adidas, like, we could throw this tech in there now, we can throw this comfort padding in there. So I don't know if the OGs, I mean, they all so fucking similar anyway. I don't know what you're gonna get respect for with Yeezys anymore.
I remember we had this conversation when I think I was a guest, actually. We had this conversation when they first re-released the zebras. And I was like saying like, oh yeah, it's great. And like, I think the original ones are going to be more valued because I was basing it off of Jordan brand. And then as we kind of, like, as you said, as we've kind of seen the retroing going with Adidas, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I really don't think it matters anymore.
No, might be right. I mean, we'll have to see how this kind of plays out because like the Yeezy story is actually unfolding as it's happening. I know, like, you know, Jordan's been around for so long, you know, we have a strong history, there's a strong canon here, but with Yeezy it's literally like we're watching it unfold. So it's just something to note and pay attention to.
Absolutely. There might be a point where someone will be like, the 2021 zebras are the most comfortable of all of them, so those will be like the most sought after for some reason. He
also already has a difference in drops where like some come with 3M and some don't in some of those colorways too. So like you obviously are going to get more respect if you have the reflective one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but those are different. Like, I mean, we're talking zebra to zebra.
Yeah.
Like pretty much everything's the same. Like, I know what you're saying. There was like sometimes he'll do a drop and it'll be one will be reflective. It'll be the same color. One will be reflective, one won't. But like, we're not even talking about the retro of it. We're talking like when we say retro, we mean 2017. Then there's a 2019 one. And like Luke said, like I could see people clamoring for the newer model more than the original model.
Fair. I mean, it's interesting nonetheless. Just something to point out. I mean, the way that all these brands drop new shit. I mean, like even like, oh, we kind of skipped over the reverse Grinches. Like that's another thing too, is when you reverse the colorway, that it's like a new branch on the tree of that shoe. You know what I mean? So, I mean, there's plenty of these different ways to go about it.
Also, I'm kind of surprised we got the Hall of Fames when we did. It kind of made sense because, it's Undefeated and Nike. But I'm still surprised that we're getting more Kobe models right now. Like I thought the contract was up, right?
Yep.
Well, sort of to what Lauren said in another episode titled "Milking Mamba." I mean, here we are.
Yeah.
That's what makes the whole end of the partnership so interesting and weird to me, because I think both parties need each other, and to a certain extent. And I know that the players love the Kobe fives. They love the play in these models. You see guys like Anthony Davis and John Morant would talk about like how, I love the Protros. I need like more. Like I just have people buy up what I can because that's how I play in. And I think if you have enough of these players, high value players, complain about what's going on, I think there will need to be some type of compromise. But like Chris and like you were saying, Luke, I mean, we're just seeing more and more pictures. We saw the black and white Kobe sixes, I believe it's the Mamba and Mambasita ones, if I'm correct. And those are beautiful, man. Like those are amazing. And it's sad that so many people will not get their hands on that model or that sneaker. But once again, I mean, how much more is Nike going to milk this shit? Because they're doing a great job at it right now.
Not to play devil's advocate for Nike, but a lot of times when we have these discussions as consumers, we don't think about like lead time in production. So generally speaking, you don't get a shoe really until a year and a half after you place a purchase order, right? I'm saying this very loosely for any other designers listening, but like, right. So they probably had this done fairly recently with a push order through, but I mean, it takes a long time to make a sneaker. You know what I mean? This isn't something that you can like order and have in a week. We're talking like massive amounts of quantities, like there's lead times for this kind of shit. So I wouldn't be surprised if they sort of had these underway within 3 months of his passing,
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things, like, are they milking it? Like, I mean, yes, kind of, but also like there's probably some good intent planned shit happening before this whole, disassociation from Nike.
Well, you have to look and just say, like you said, yeah, I can see that, because when you look at a pair of sneakers and say, like you said, Chris, they release in May of 2021. You look in the inside and the production dates are maybe 7 months before that.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So you got it. So then also, like you said, now, if the production months are 7-8 months before the actual release date, how long was it in the pipeline for these, for these shoes to come out?
Yeah.
So it definitely is a valid point, bro. But it just feels like there needs to be some type of agreement, because I think we have too many people that play ball and enjoy these Kobe sneakers.
I mean, it's going to be interesting to see, man. I mean, because like, as we've been saying, this is all kind of unfolding. Like, are they going to take the logos off? Are they going to, what are they going to, like, what kind of treatment? Because that is their silhouette. You know what I mean? Who really knows what the contract says as far as like who owns what? I mean, we've seen in the past where like, I'm blanking on his name, won the championship with the Raptors. Kawhi Leonard had that logo like that issue where it's like, Nike said they owned it, and then he had to go do a new one with New Balance or whatever. So it's like, who really owns that Kobe logo? Because it's tied to a lot. I don't know. But
so what are you going to do? You're going to drop the Kobe retro, the Protro 5s, and you're going to call it Nike Air Shooting Guard Los Angeles model? Like, I mean, what the fuck? Like, people, like it just, what are you going to, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, the sneakers, yes, they will sell themselves. People, basketball players love the sneakers, but also Kobe's name being attached to the sneakers are what pushes the fucking model.
Yeah, you're not wrong, bro. Right. And the streets will always know. We'll always have them as the Kobe's, but formally Nike at the title of the fucking page or whatever, they can change it to whatever they want. Maybe, who knows? We're speculating, but
they might just call them Protros. That's it. No Kobe Protros.
Listen, when I was a kid, I used to play NBA Live basketball on Super Nintendo.
Oh, yeah,
Michael Jordan he did not sign the NBA Players Association contract so his likenesses could be in certain video games. It took a long time. So for the longest, we would play video games with Michael Jordan being roster player 99. And we knew he was bald headed. He fucking was doing every move that Michael Jordan was possible. But you just felt like, damn, this motherfucker's not Michael Jordan. Like, it's roster player 99. And I feel like that's what if Nike pulls some stupid shit like this, we're gonna be like, really, bro? Like, you're gonna drop the Kobe Protros but not use Kobe's name? It just feels whack.
And here we have it, folks. As our intro says, we get an old head rant from Lawrence.
Fucking old head rant, y'all. For real, man.
This has been an old head rant.
My back hurts. My knee hurts. My head hurts. Everything hurts.
What did he say?
What those young kids say? Get off my lawn, you young stupid kids.
Kobe Protros without the logo? That's a don't-tro.
Fuck you.
I mean, all right, so that aside, the reverse Grinches. Luke, I have to ask you, as the Grinch aficionado.
No. Basura.
I don't know what that means.
That means
Trash.
garbage in Spanish, man.
Oh, I'm English.
Oh, we know.
God.
No, but why? Can you expound?
It's just not right. I don't know, man. It just looks wrong. Like the red is just, it just doesn't fit at all. You should have just done a Santa Claus shoe at this point.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't have like because it was nice about the Grinch was that it had the kind of, it tied to the story, right? So you had this green, loud, angry colorway. And then when you reverse it, it just doesn't, it just make this, I don't know, no. Just
all right. Now, okay, I'll just keep playing devil's advocate. I'm having a hard time not seeing this go because of the love for an all red sneaker.
Okay, it'll go, but I'm not gonna get it. Like, it's not gonna be me.
You're
know?
not. Yeah.
I'm not
Okay.
going for these. No, I'll go for the other ones, the Mamba and Mambacitas. Those are beautiful. That's a beautiful, well executed sneaker.
Yeah, I agree.
This is lazy.
Lazy. You call this lazy. That's interesting.
I call this lazy. That's what I do.
Okay.
Well, our producer Matt brought up a very good point. He said the original Grinches were loud, but this feels like a different type of loud.
This is a different loud.
A red loud is much different than a green loud.
Yes. Because I think here's the thing. I think when you start, and maybe this is me, another old head rant, but when I start thinking of red sneakers, red shorts, red pants, I start thinking of gangs. I start thinking of Bloods and shit like that. And maybe this is just me growing up in New York City, but I don't fuck with red sneakers like that.
Yeah,
because you are a Crip. We know.
I'm a straight up Crip. Oh my God. This is gonna cause me to lose any sponsorships and contracts that no, I'm not a gang member. But but all jokes aside, it just feels like when you start looking at red sneakers, it just feels like that's a gang member somewhere. You know what I mean?
That's also another thing. That's another layer to it. You know,
it is. Yeah.
I was definitely thinking about that too, but I just don't like the design. None of the design, the color just doesn't work.
Okay, I feel that. I mean, like, all right, so Luke, just because again, you've always talked about the Grinches being a grail. You've always wanted them. If they were going to do another one, what would they do? If they were going to do another version, what would you have?
What would I wanted from a Grinch colorway? Yeah,
just like in the lineage of that shoe, just another story being told, like not saying reversed, but like what else could they have done with it?
Dude, they really can't. They can't do it. That's why I think it's such a grailed shoe, is because there's not really much else you can do with it, really. You know, what are you gonna do? Like a Cindy Lou Who? It just doesn't really work.
I mean, that's not a bad idea.
No, but it's really like, how would you execute that? That's tough. Like what you do, like it wouldn't work. It wouldn't really work. I don't think.
I feel you.
It's just what made it is not like it's the culmination of all of the different aspects that made it such a grailed shoe. It's
I think
the
fact
personality of Kobe.
Yep.
The character of the story, the model of shoe. It was a perfect storm that cannot be recreated.
Yep. It's just like he actually played in the Grinches, like
on Christmas.
That's what I'm saying. Like these, you're like, there's no story behind it. It's like we start forcing these stories to sell more shoes. And I think that is the problem right there. It's like, the Grinches are doing numbers, so let's reverse them and fucking
right. It is cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we've said it once before. We'll always say it. It's really the story, guys. You're right.
It is. It's the fucking story behind the sneaker. Jordan Brand does this. They do this well sometimes, and then they do it really shitty. if that makes sense. You know, they have some great stories behind a sneaker to sell. Like I always go back to Shattered Backboards. We watched that video of Michael Jordan in that orange and black uniform shattering the backboard with like some lost footage. And we were able to then create, I think, 2 Jordan 1s that weren't worn or OGs, but they had the story behind it and it flowed well.
And we made a 3rd one that nobody talks about.
Yeah, because it wasn't a fucking shattered backboard.
Don't forget about the satins too.
Yeah, that's true.
It wasn't a shattered backboard. It was,
I think on the reverse end of that from Jordan Brand, I think of the Lettermans, which is like the kind of the weird other end where they're just like, now we're just kind of grasping at straws, you know, where he's like first time on David Letterman. We'll call these the Letterman. It's like, sometimes it's like, grasping at straws. I agree.
We had like the rookie of the years, you know, like when you start looking, there's certain like sneakers, they always try to force a story behind certain things. And there's certain sneakers that have an amazing story. We look at, you know, a Cement 3. I mean, he wore it in the dunk contest. It's iconic. You know, the Jordan 1s, they were banned from, you know, quote unquote banned, you know, where, you know, they didn't match the uniform and they had this great marketing behind it. And that story will always stick. But like you said, Luke, sometimes it's just straw grasping and it's like, come on, y'all. Y'all don't have to have a fucking story behind every release.
It's true.
Sometimes you can just look cool.
Yeah. No, I'm with you guys. You know, you guys just sort of reminded me to talk about the stories. We didn't really get to it last week, but I do kind of want to talk about the Alife store for a second.
Do it.
Yeah, do it.
You want to talk about stories, bro? So I will just say I've had a my favorite surreal experience, just to sort of speak onto the moments that have happened in the back of that store. I saw Scarface, the rapper, playing a lefty guitar with the band Living Color while Scarface was wearing a shirt I worked on.
Oh, dope.
Wow.
Yeah. So there's no world where I think that you can recreate a moment like that. And there was tons of moments like that in that store. I don't think a lot of people realize the significance that place had. I mean, and it's coming from a weird place because I've always liked the brand and I do work there. So it sounds like I'm meat riding because I kind of am, but I'm also like, it's hard to within that.
Yeah, but you've been a day one meat rider.
Yes, I've been. I was on a day one, baby. Have you guys been to the store before I go too far? Because if you guys have any words, that'd be great to hear from you guys first before I kind of like get too sentimental about it.
Nah, get sentimental, dog.
Yeah, go for it.
Floor's yours.
It's all right. So in 2010, when I interned in Williamsburg at this place called the Keystone Design Union, KDU, there was this guy, David Gensler. I went there and we were trying to kick it at one weekend. And he was like, hey, was there something you want to do in the city? And mind you, so this is 2010, right? This is before like hype was really a thing. This is before any shit. I went like, I think I pretty much was like, hey, have you been to Rivington Club before? And he like laughed at me. He's like, yeah, of course I've been to Alife. I'm like, can I go there? Am I like allowed? He was like, yeah, dog, it's a store. So he brought me. And that's when Chris Vidal was there. They had just done a New Balance collab or some shit. And, you know, I'm looking around all like giddy eyed. I'm like, this shit is crazy. You know what I mean? Just to be within the store that I kept reading about when I was like home in Boston. And then Chris Vidal gave me like some collaborative shirt. He's like, it was like a uniform shirt. He was like, yeah, just have this, dog. When Trey posted, when Trey posted about how anyone of any influence had been through that store that's in streetwear today, that is a fact, bro. The shit we're all talking about right now is non-existent without this store happening. And for that to be gone is like, it's a truly an end of an era. If there is a mark on it, damn, that shit was, I mean, yeah, the red fucking, yeah, I'm just going to like, but whatever. I mean, did this store have any impact on you guys? It doesn't necessarily need to have one, but like, especially L, I mean, both of you actually. I mean, I kind of forget that you grew up in New York, Luke, because you're so far away from the city.
I'm not in New York.
No,
I pay New York taxes. That's what I do.
Yeah, exactly. No, but did this store mean something to you guys growing up in New York? You could say no. It's not like a thing where like I'm trying to like.
Nah, you know. I mean, I've purchased stuff from Alife before. I mean, you know, I'm trying to think back to all the streetwear stores that, you know, in that era that I was going crazy for. Supreme, obviously.
Of course.
What was I going to say? There was like Transit. There was so many different stores. I'm trying to think because it's so far, you know, but.
In that area, there was like Reed Space. That was a spot.
Reed Space, yeah.
There was a couple spots that made you go east, right? But Alife was, to me, at least the one that was the reason why you would go over there. And all of the other ones were like just piggybacking off that vibe.
Yeah, you hung out at Mercer,
Mm-hmm.
21 Mercer, Bape Store. I mean, I'm just thinking, and Soho was Lower East Side when I was younger. It was definitely a spot, and it wasn't as bastardized. I think maybe I'm using the word incorrectly, but I feel like it's so different now.
It's
But when
completely different. The vibe is completely different. It doesn't feel like old New York anymore.
Yeah. So I understand what you're saying, Chris, especially being from a design standpoint and a guy who, you were immersed in that culture. You know what I'm saying? I think I was just kind of young and like, oh, this shit hot. All right, cool, man. I'm a fucks with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think you gave a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into, just seeing shit grow and being there and building relationships. So my experiences may not be, but it's definitely not as deep as yours. But I can totally see where you're coming from, especially being a wide-eyed kid and like, oh shit, like I'm in the circle, I'm in the mix.
Hey man, you guys know me. Like when I like something, I'm in there going, I like this. So
yeah, it really is a testament to you that you somehow are able to work there to this day after they've met you.
After they got to know you. Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's like they didn't fire you.
Weird.
Like, yeah, bro. Like
they're like
so weird.
Chris is over here just trying to buy Spindrift, and somebody walks in the office like, yeah, that's Chris. He designs stuff, and he really likes seltzer. Like, it's crazy to me that is your life. You know,
I have no idea.
It makes no sense. As far as like my history with Alife, I don't really have much there, but I do. I used to hear I used to follow kind of all of those rappers that were coming through there, right? Your ASAP Rockies, your Drakes and whatnot. You used to hear legends of like these backyard parties. There was always like one kid in school who was like, yeah, I went to this backyard party with Drake in it. Like, you knew these things were happening, and that's like how as most as I knew about Alife until I started running around with you.
So Footwear News did a great article. Apparently I was in the office when this happened. I don't even fucking remember it. I wasn't paying attention. Like, we have a small office and I kind of just like zone out when people are on phone calls because I'm not trying to hear anyone's business. But Footwear News called Trey and he went through this whole rigmarole, just like answering questions, whatever. And then the next day they put out this article and it's like the headline's like Nike and the changing Lower East Side is the reason why Alife had to close their store. So Trey does reference like, oh yeah, see, Meanie pulls it up. Also, Nas in the back. I wasn't there for that one, but that shit, I mean, just look at that. That's a party, bro. Yeah, so I guess like based off this one article, I'm not gonna say too much, but someone from Nike reached out and hopefully something comes from that. But it does speak about like how because Nike didn't give Alife an account. Imagine having a sneaker store without having Nike as an account. With no Nike sneakers.
That's a testament to how, the brand itself at this point.
Yeah, man.
Since 2012, dog, they have not had a Nike account.
I never asked about that, when we had Trey on, because first of all, he was like, not really talk about that. So,
yeah.
I've always been curious about like how that happened, but the fact that they're able to like survive as long as they did without Nike, the number one sneaker distributor in the world. Crazy.
Yeah. I mean, so hopefully something comes from this. I don't know. I just wanted to not, because we mentioned it last week. I didn't want to not say something, but man, that store was so pivotal. Hopefully Rob and Trey figure something out coming for this next shop. But I mean, who knows? We'll see. Hopefully if something does happen, it will live up to its name. But I mean, it's just all about timing and a little bit of luck,
Hey, listeners, if you're thinking about starting a store, maybe you should, because, Chris had a very good memory from that and it influenced his life. So maybe you should open up a store and then maybe throw the SupFM guys in the backyard.
Yo, I saw Bobby Shmurda before he got locked up. I saw Pusha T. I saw Afrojack. I saw Yo Gotti was back there. I saw Chef Raekwon. I saw that was actually another location. And then but that whole Alife Sessions as a IP, like going back to what you were saying, that backyard shit, that will never happen again, bro.
Yeah.
Because you need like 30 stacks to get like one performance. You know what I mean? From these guys.
Yeah.
But that back then they were just doing the shit off love for free. Like, I don't think they paid Drake.
No.
I don't think they paid most of those guys, at least for the backyard shit, for sure. I don't know about like, with the DMX shit that we referenced one time. I think they threw him some cash. It wasn't crazy, but it was all off love, bro. But no one does that shit no more.
Chris, where can they find you on social media, my friend?
At Not That Cheney, CHENEY. Lawrence, what about you, my friend? Where can they find you? His microphone is out. Yeah, it's out big time, baby. But I'll hold you down for a second. You can find him at LZ32325.
Well, you messed that up.
At LZD325.
There you go, on all social media.
Bye, Lawrence. He's off the pod now. He's done. He's had enough of this shit.
No, don't.
He was like,
that.
"Yo, Chris talking about too much Alife. I'm out." No, we can't hear you, bro. It's all good.
So, Sub Podcast. You can find Sub Podcast at NYC.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. That'll be all of our social medias for the podcast.
Wait, what about you? Where can they find you?
They can find me at Trevezus, TROVEEZUS. Lawrence also has another podcast called I Hate This Job.
You're damn right.
Yeah, he's back. Yeah.
Oh, cool. All right, good. Yeah.
Perfect timing.
Yeah, I do have a podcast. I Hate This Job. Listen to it. It's got a lot of comedians on it, a lot of fun people. Luke did it. Chris is going to do it. We have good conversations about shitty jobs that you've hated. So tune in. I Hate This Job pod. You can follow it on social media.
Yeah, and don't forget 3 Meanie, our producer, and Discord guys. Hammer in the Discord. That's the spot.
Hammer in the Discord.
We got a nice
Discord. We got a mini run coming up.
Yeah, we got a mini run. We got a nice community. We are fucking kicking it in there. Please join and hang out with us. Do we have any final thoughts before we wrap this episode up, guys?
Oh, I got my Tenant shirt today.
Shout out to Tenant, another family member of the show, friend of the show.
Yeah, absolutely. Great shop. Got a Stoop Kid shirt. It's great. I'm very happy with it. Buy some shit from them.
Perfect. And that's it for this week, guys. Please tune in, rate, review, anywhere you can. Tell a friend, and then we will talk to you next week.
Yeah.
Peace.
Peace.